back to the channel. Today we're going to unravel some incredibly complex events in Genoa. Rumors are circulating around the Newman family, but what's the truth? In this video, I'll summarize the plot points that will be revealed in the next episode. Stay tuned to see what happens.
Welcome back to our channel, Soap Squad. It is a fantastic evening to dive deep into the madness of Genoa City, and we are so glad you are here with us to unpack all this delicious drama. Grab your favorite snack, get comfortable, and let's get right into the thick of it. I cannot believe they just did that. I am literally typing this up at 2 a.m. because my brain is just spinning out of control and I desperately need to vent to people who actually get it. Are you guys seeing what I am seeing right now? The sheer audacity of Victor Newman in this latest episode is just off the charts, even for him. I mean, we all know the mustache has a massive god complex, but watching him completely dismiss Kyle Abbott like he was nothing more than a piece of lint on his expensive tailored suit, mind-blowing. I am half screaming at my television and half applauding the pure soap opera camp of it all. Because let's be real, watching Victor completely obliterate someone's ego is exactly why we tune in. But at the same time, my Abbott-loving heart is just furious and breaking for Kyle. But wait, let me back up because I am just too worked up and jumping all over the place. Let's talk about the actual scene from the beginning. Kyle storms into the Newman ranch, looking like he is ready to burn the entire Newman empire to the ground. He is puffing his chest out, marching in there with all this Abbott pride, completely ready for a massive, epic confrontation. And what does Victor do? He treats the entire thing like a minor, boring inconvenience. It is so infuriatingly brilliant. Kyle is standing there, practically vibrating with rage over what Victor did to his family, and Victor is just sitting there, probably thinking about his next glass of scotch. Am I the only one who felt the intense secondhand embarrassment for Kyle in that moment? You do not just march into Victor's fortress and expect him to cower. I mean, I love Kyle, I really do, but boy was he completely out of his depth here. So Kyle brings up the whole horrific situation with Jack and Diane. He throws it right in Victor's face, the fact that Victor orchestrated this entire nightmare, that he paid Patty Williams to abduct and drug Jack on that yacht, which completely blew up Jack and Diane's marriage just as they were finding happiness again. And Victor's response, "Oh, yeah. Poor guy, the absolute disrespect. He literally waves his hand dismissively and insists he completely forgot about his role in it. He refuses to take even an ounce of responsibility for the absolute trauma he inflicted on the Abbott family. Because of course he does. Victor Newman never does anything wrong in his own mind. It is always someone else's fault, or it was necessary to protect the family business. And honestly, I have been watching since 2015, and this is exactly the kind of toxic Victor behavior that drives me absolutely up the wall. Remember when he brought in Marco Onicelli to take over Jack's life? Or when he constantly manipulated Sharon's mental health for his own gain? Yeah, he never took real accountability then, either. He always plays the amnesia card or the I did what I had to do card. And everyone just eventually lets him get away with it. It is so frustrating. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, back to the point. The point is, Victor is sitting there, gaslighting Kyle to his face, acting like Jack's near-death experience and Diane's psychological trauma are just trivial little footnotes in his very busy day. But Kyle is not backing down. He threatens revenge. And you can just see the absolute fury burning in his eyes. He wants Victor to pay for almost making him an orphan, and Victor just laughs. He literally laughs right in Kyle's face. It wasn't even a menacing, villainous chuckle. It was a deep, belly laugh of pure amusement. Victor tells Kyle that he used to have promise, that he used to have a promising look about him, but now he is just following in his father's pathetic footsteps. Victor actually tells him to go home and be the worthless son that his family apparently wants him to be. Ouch. I mean, that was a low blow even for Victor. He hit Kyle right in his deepest, darkest insecurity, his constant need to prove he is as good a man as Jack, while also trying to be a ruthless, successful businessman. So Kyle fires back, and honestly, this was probably his best line of the night. Kyle says he wants to keep his soul, unlike Victor, and he swears that he is going to come back with a real, concrete plan to completely ruin him. I was cheering for Kyle in that moment. But then I started thinking about it, and sometimes I contradict myself because I'm just so emotional about these characters and figuring out my thoughts as I type. Is Kyle really keeping his soul? Because right now, he is making secret, dirty deals with Patty Williams in a police lockup. He is literally bargaining with the psychotic woman who stabbed his father and tried to lethally inject his mother. That doesn't sound like a guy who is keeping his soul. That sounds exactly like a Newman. Kyle is becoming the very monster he is trying to destroy, and he doesn't even see the tragic irony of it. And Victor's reaction to Kyle's grand vow of vengeance, pure, theatrical gold. Victor throws his hands up in mock terror and goes, "Oh my God, I can't wait." Before basically kicking Kyle out of the house, I was dying. Eric Bredin's delivery was just absolute perfection. He reduced Kyle's epic declaration of war to a temper tantrum from a toddler who didn't get his way. It was so dismissive, so arrogant, and so perfectly Victor. You could practically see Kyle's ego deflating as he stormed out of the ranch, his tail tucked between his legs. I know some people on the forums are loving this, seeing Victor put Kyle in his place. But personally, I think Victor is vastly underestimating how dangerous a desperate, grieving Abbott can be. Because here is where the entire scene flips on its head. The second, and I mean the absolute millisecond that Kyle is out the door, Victor's mask drops. The smug, mocking smile vanishes. The theatrical amusement is completely gone. Suddenly, Victor is all business. He immediately starts asking questions about Jack's medical condition. He demands to know if the attempted murder charges against Patty Williams are going to stick. Why? Why would the great, untouchable Victor Newman care about the charges against Patty if he is so unbothered by Kyle's little threats? I will tell you exactly why. Because Victor knows he is vulnerable. He knows that Patty Williams is a massive, ticking time bomb. And he is the one who lit the fuse by bringing her back to Genoa City, putting her up in a luxury suite, and funding her entire chaotic lifestyle. Victor knows that if Patty talks, if she actually cuts a deal with Kyle and the cops to save her own skin, his entire empire could be dragged through the mud. We already know Patty dropped a massive bombshell on Kyle about some dark, covered-up crime from Victor's past. Victor might not know exactly what Patty told Kyle yet, but his instincts are tingling. He knows the Abbotts are circling, and he knows Patty has absolutely nothing left to lose. And then comes the final, chilling moment of the episode. Victor is standing there alone, the weight of his empire on his shoulders, and he just mutters to himself, "Bring it on, chills." Literal chills went down my spine when he said that. Because suddenly, that mocking attitude wasn't so carefree anymore. It was the sound of a warlord preparing for a brutal siege. Victor is bracing for impact. He knows Kyle is coming for him, and he knows this isn't just going to be a simple boardroom squabble over stock prices. This is going to be a bloodbath that tears the town apart. I know a lot of fans are saying Kyle is just being a whiny brat and that he has no chance against Victor. And yeah, history tells us that anyone who goes up against the mustache usually ends up losing their company, their dignity, or their freedom. But I am kind of here for it. I am so sick of Victor getting away with literally everything while the Abbotts suffer. I want to see Kyle push him to the absolute limit. Even if Kyle fails, even if he crashes and burns and loses everything, I want to see Victor sweat for once. I want Victor to realize that his actions have real, devastating consequences, and that you cannot just drug a man, ruin his marriage, and expect his son to just sit back and take it with a smile. But then I remember Billy's warning to Kyle earlier. and my stomach just drops. Billy was completely right. Billy told Kyle that going after Victor would cause massive collateral damage, and he refused to help him. What is going to happen to Summer? She is Kyle's ex and Victor's granddaughter. What is going to happen to Claire, Abby? They are all caught in the crossfire of this Abbott versus Newman war. If Kyle unleashes whatever secret Patty gave him, it won't just hurt Victor. It will hurt the entire Newman family, and Kyle is so blinded by his rage that he doesn't even care who gets caught in the blast radius. He is willing to burn down his own family connections just to see Victor bleed. So here I am typing furiously at my keyboard, half celebrating Kyle's newfound backbone and half complaining about how incredibly stupid he is being. I am terrified for what is coming next, but I also cannot look away for a single second. This is the kind of high-stakes, deeply personal soap opera drama that we have been begging for. The generational trauma, the family feuds, the secret alliances with psychotic criminals in jail cells, it is all just so good. I need to know what Victor is going to do next. Is he going to strike first? Is he going to try and silence Patty before she can officially go on the record? Oh my God, what if Victor tries to have Patty eliminated? I mean, think about it. Victor has the resources. If he thinks Patty is going to sink him, he won't hesitate to neutralize the threat. And Kyle is just walking right into the lion's den, thinking he's the smartest guy in the room because he had one conversation with a deranged woman. I am absolutely dreading the fallout, but I am also so incredibly invested. We are about to witness one of the most explosive wars in Genoa City history, and I just hope Kyle knows what he is doing, because Victor Newman is definitely not laughing anymore. He is going to war, and he takes no prisoners.